Well, guys, it's Saturday. As you can see, it's raining like crazy. So there won't be any walking today. For cold, just have to chill out. I slept through the better part of the day today. Sleepy, you know. So, like I said, I slept through the better part of the day today. But Bull is actually in the back, um, in the camper shell there. He's relaxing back there. Probably getting wet because that rain is coming down pretty hard. But he's staying inside. He's doing pretty good. But anyway, um, it's all good. Whatever. Like I said, we didn't go anywhere today. I got up late and I slept most of the day. And sitting here digging in my damn nose because I don't know why. But anyway, no drug addiction. Speaking of drugs, something became apparent to me. Like I said, I do a lot of internet searching and got a lot of YouTube watching and a lot of stuff, on the internet, whatever, and I happened to stumble across this, I guess it's a psychiatrist, and they were talking about different drugs that people are taking, performance enhancing drugs and everything, whatever. I got these things on. I was listening to a video, and that's why I got those on. But anyway, um, I was looking at that, whatever, and it kind of piqued my interest because I'm like, okay, I'm pretty naive when it comes to drugs and whatever. I know that they exist, I know they're out there, but the different varieties of drugs and what they do, I'm not very up on the latest stuff with that, whatever, since I don't use them. But I've noticed people on the job, I mean, some jobs you go on, people are just dragging. They're pretty much just dead. You don't have no energy at all. And to me, it's perceived as being lazy. Just not wanting to work, just not having motivation. You know, I don't know if that's because of the weed smoking or whatever, but I probably misdiagnose people with some of this stuff. I'm, observing that people are like, because I see a lazy person, a person that's dragging around, not being productive, you know, mind not quite there, kind of slow thinking and whatever, Whereas you should be able to look and see a situation and be like, okay, this one here needs to be done, or that needs to be done. This from observing. Some people can sit there and be like looking and just not do it. You end up jumping in and taking care of it for them before they can, even move. To me, I perceive that as a heavy weed smoker or somebody that's on alcohol, drinking alcohol a lot. And I could be a wrong diagnosis or whatever, or just plain lazy, Some people are just lazy or whatever, And when it comes to laziness, I'm starting to give people a little leeway when it comes to that, because I really don't blame people for being lazy. In fact, I salute them. I really appreciate lazy people, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be making the money I'm making, because the job I'm on, I mean, it's work, but by no means what they're paying me justifies the work that I'm doing. But they're paying me way more than what the job is really worth, in my opinion. I'm glad to take the money. I'm glad to get it, but it pays good money. It pays good. I'm not rich. There's certain things I gotta hold off on and whatever, and sacrifice for and everything, whatever. And waiting for my money. I got a little hiccup now because the job that I quit, whereas I would have got paid Friday, I didn't get paid Friday because they said they're gonna mail my check to me or whatever. That's what they do when they're pissed off at you for quitting. But I think they wanted me to quit and whatever, because there was no protest. There was no like, what's going on, man? What's happening or whatever? Maybe we can work this out. You're a good laborer. I don't want to lose you. What's going on? What are they doing? What's this? What's that? Nothing. Just like, oh, you want to go? Oh, you're done? You're out? Okay, no problem. Let me move my truck. You can get out. So that's just the way it went. You know, they didn't care. They didn't even try to convince me to stay or nothing. That let me know right there that that wasn't the place for me. You know, because if I got a good label and I appreciate a person working hard and taking care of business, which I was on every job, I always do the best job possible. That lets me know that there was a problem on their part. You know, and plain and simple is they couldn't get into my business. You know, and even worse, they were into my business, but they couldn't talk about it. And that just choked them to death, you know. When people know more about you than they should, or know a bunch of stuff about you, but they can't talk about it because they'll get sued because they're not supposed to be discussing your personal information, and they're choking on the information or whatever, they can't get out, and it's frustrating or whatever. You know, they want to let you know that, hey, I know your business or whatever, you can't keep a secret from me or whatever. You know, it's a power thing. You know, so that's why they wanted to say my name, you know, whatever. But I shut that down, you know, and they didn't like that. So I stopped them at my name. It's no big deal. So you know my name. That's not a big deal. I really didn't care about that. It's not the fact that I didn't want my name pronounced or whatever, or mispronounced or whatever. It's the fact that this is the name I gave you to call me by, and this other name, you ain't got no business knowing about it, period. Unless you're running your mouth and talking about me or whatever, about stuff that you shouldn't be talking about. Whatever. You're digging into my past, you're digging into my name and everything, whatever. That means you're trying to probe into my background, whatever. Which, like I said up in another video, I don't mind people looking into my background, checking my name out and seeing what's going on. You don't know who you're working with, who's working for you and whatever. I could be a damn thief. You know, you got all your expensive equipment out there on the job and everything, whatever. You don't want some guy that's going to come out there and rob you blind and steal your power equipment and your stuff and everything, whatever. You know, I can understand, you know, wanting to know who you're dealing with or whatever. You know I'm not a thief. They've dug through my past and everything, whatever, because you can find out all that stuff. They know I'm not a thief. They know I'm not a pedophile, you know, which really doesn't come into play. Even if I was, you know, there's no reason why I should be babysitting your damn kids, you know. So, you know, whether or not I'm a pedophile doesn't even come into play or whatever. But it's good to know, you know, because you know that I invite people over to your house for a picnic and whatever when you got kids, you know, which I would go to these people's houses anyway. Whatever. I work and home, that's it. That's the only time I want to associate with. If I'm not getting paid for it, I don't want to see you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to know you. I don't want to socialize with you. I'm just here for the money, plain and simple. People also, they're pissed off because, you know, another thing, people want to know if you got a criminal record, you know, if you're a felon, you know, where you've killed somebody or done some great bodily harm to somebody, or if you're beating your wife or whatever, you know, that tells them what kind of person you are, you know. They look through all my stuff, but they ain't gonna find none of that stuff because I don't have no history of beating nobody or domestic violence or none of that stuff or whatever. No drug addiction, no drug possession, none of that stuff or whatever. Now traffic, you know, oh yeah, I ran a few red lights or whatever. I've done some illegal turns. I've done some, drove without insurance, drove without license and stuff like that. You know, just traffic stuff or whatever. You know, that's it. That's all you're gonna find on me or whatever. You know, so, you know, but anyway, people can hate you because of that. People want to have something on you. They want to be like, okay, he's got a prison record or whatever. You know, now if you got a prison record, well, you have to disclose that to your employee. Anyway, you have to tell them. You know, I found that out recently or whatever. You know, but I don't have anything like that or whatever. So of course they're gonna check to see. You know, that way if they find it and you didn't tell them, they're gonna fire you. You know, but I'm pretty sure they check my stuff and everything or whatever. And like I say, people want to feel like they're above you. You know, they want to categorize you. You know, people will ask you different questions about yourself, you know, because they want to put you in a slot, you know, and they feel good if that slot is beneath them. You know, everybody fits in a certain order, a certain hierarchy of society. Some people are up here, some people are down here, some people you can't even register. They're way below, you know, below, and some people are way up here. You know, I've learned that the best people to deal with are the people that are way up here. I mean, pretty much out of sight, because they practically have no jealousy. nothing you're gonna tell them about yourself or about your achievement, about anything you got going on, is gonna make them jealous of you or whatever. They're gonna be like, oh, so you went on a trip? You went to um, to the park over the weekend or whatever. And they're gonna laugh and be like, I went to Hawaii last month or whatever. So they're like, good for you. You went to the park. And they're gonna dismiss you. And there's not going to be any envious or any jealousy or nothing or whatever. Those people you can deal with. But people that have sat at home all weekend and just drank and smoked and had drugs and everything or whatever, fought with their wife or their girlfriend or whatever, or their baby mama, they got drama like that going on. They just had a shitty weekend or whatever because they've got, fucked up people in their lives and they can't escape them, because they live with them and they're roommating with them or whatever they got to do to survive. Those kind of people, you tell them that you had a nice time over the weekend, you went to this place, you went to that place, it could not be expensive, it could be a cheap, just outing or something or whatever. They're going to hate you because they're going to compare what you got with what they got. And they're going to be like, I didn't have that kind of fun this weekend, I didn't do that with, and they're gonna have a problem with it. Some people are. Some people will be like, wow, that's nice and whatever. Some people can be okay with that and whatever, and be like, this guy's got a little more than I got, whatever. Like me, I don't care if you got a little more than I've got. You got a lot more than I've got. I don't care, man. Do your thing. I'm happy for you. I am really truly happy for people that have more than what I've gotten, whatever. I'm glad you got stuff because there's so many people. There's more people that are what you would say beneath me financially and materially than there are people above me that have more than what I have or whatever. I feel bad for the people that are beneath me that don't have as much as I've gotten, whatever, because if you don't have as much as I've gotten, whatever, you're in pretty bad shape. Because I don't have much. I'm not all that rich or have a bunch of stuff and whatever. I mean, if you're watching YouTube and you see my channel and you see the stuff that I've gotten, whatever, and you're looking at my stuff like, wow, he's got a lot of stuff, that guy's rich or whatever, then I feel bad for you because you should have just as much as what I got, whatever, and probably a lot more, But if you don't, then it's cool, welcome to my club, So, but anyway, I don't compete with people and whatever. I don't try to have more or less or whatever than anybody else or whatever. I just try to live my life and just have as much fun as I possibly can myself personally and whatever. I'm sitting here digging all in my nose. I don't know why I'm doing that. I guess it's nerves or whatever. But anyway, people want to categorize you or whatever. They want to be like, cause see, when a person asks you a question, first thing they're probably going to ask you is, mainly is where do you live, and if you say, okay, now, say for instance, okay, if I tell you I live in Detroit, you're going to be like, now, automatically, your brain has just put me in a slot, because everything you know about Detroit and everything that you know about the people of Detroit and all the media hype or whatever about Detroit, whatever, is going to go into your mind and you're going to associate me with that and whatever, But now, if I tell you that I always say I live in Detroit, but I really don't live in Detroit. I have lived in Detroit before, and I moved the hell out of there because, there's not no place to live, Detroit can be a nice place in certain areas. Certain places in Detroit is beautiful, but the neighborhoods where people are broke and don't have money and whatever, if you live in the midst of an area like that, you're dealing with a different kind of person or whatever. You're dealing with a dog-eat-dog kind of situation or whatever. You're dealing with a lot of people that are abusing drugs and everything or whatever, and those kind of people you don't want to be around, so you're not going to have a very good existence or whatever. I was fortunate. The area that I lived in was pretty much, now it was drug infested. It was people doing bad stuff and everything, but the way where I was living at wasn't all that bad, and the way the apartment that I was in was situated was where there was only one way in your apartment and one way out of your apartment. And all the apartments had bars and a gate that you could lock on your door, whatever, so it's going to take some time to break in there. And one way in, one way out, and that one way in or out was facing the other doors of other apartments where people can see somebody going in or out. If somebody's going in or out and whatever of your place, or whatever, if they're breaking in your place, or whatever, they're gonna call the cops. And whatever, cops probably ain't gonna show up for 2 or 3 hours. Or whatever, they could have came in and took every damn thing you had and been gone before the police show up. But just the thought that somebody can be watching them, that I never had to worry about nobody breaking in my apartment. My car was relatively safe sitting out in the parking lot there because it was right close to where I live, wherever. So my house was right there and the car was right there. So I never had any problem like that. But they would steal your license plate, if you had your up-to-date tags and everything, because there was a market for that back then. But anyway, it was a pretty, it wasn't really bad. But I was able to handle it. Nobody bothered me. I didn't bother nobody. It was pretty cool. But I got the hell out of there or whatever and moved to a better area. Now, I moved into the suburbs or whatever, which is where I live now. And that's about, I'm going to say about 15, maybe 20 miles outside of the city of Detroit and whatever, out of the main neighborhoods or whatever. I got quite a ways away, So now knowing that, you've put me in a different slot. You've taken me out of the Detroit slot and whatever, what you think about me, and you put me in this other slot where we're like, okay, this guy belongs in a different slot where you're like, okay, he lives in the suburbs or whatever, predominantly white. I'm probably the only black person here. There are a few other black people that live here in this area where I'm at and whatever, and I know just about every one of them. I don't know them personally, but I've seen them and whatever. And the ones that I've seen and I know, they're a certain kind of black person. They're the kind of black person that you don't mind having as your neighbor. They're good people. And I'm glad they escaped from out of Detroit or wherever they came from to be here where I'm at and whatever. And I have no problem with them being neighbors. It's not black people in general. It's the kind of black people that you're around that you don't want to be dealing with, whatever. And in Detroit, there's a very heavy concentration of black people that ain't shit. I mean, plain and simple, that are on drugs. That if you're not shit and whatever, this pertains to black people, white people, Chinese people, Mexican, whatever race you are, it doesn't really matter. If you do drugs, if you drink alcohol in excess, just drinking whatever, you get a pass on that word because pretty much everybody does it, but not everybody gets to the point where it affects their lives or whatever. But smoking weed and whatever, and if you abuse drugs or whatever to the point where it does affect your life or whatever, you're a piece of shit. No matter what color you are or whatever. I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to work with you, but I may have to or whatever on these jobs. People don't care about who they hire now. So, that puts you in a category. If you drink, if you smoke, if you do drugs, that puts you in a category. Now, the fact that I don't drink, I don't smoke, never have drank, never have smoked, never done any drugs, period. Aspirin every once in a while, maybe now and then. But other than that, nothing or whatever, Now that just put me in a different category and whatever. Another thing, at one point I didn't believe in God at all, period, no way, shape, or form. Not because of, I had anything against God or against religion or doing the right thing and whatever. I always did the right thing regardless. I knew the difference between right and wrong, and I just did the right thing. You don't have to believe in God to do the right thing or whatever. So I did everything right. I did the right thing or whatever. And the people that do believe in God, that were bringing me the message of God and trying to tell me to give my life over to Christ and to do everything or whatever, they weren't good examples of what I thought righteous people should be. One side of their mouth they're talking about, Jesus loves you, you should do this, you do that. The other side of their mouth they're about, hey, let's go bang some girls, let's go get high, And I'm like, how can you be both? You can't be both with us. So I saw the phoniness in it and whatever. People just ain't shit and whatever. If you're gonna try to convince somebody that you're holier than thou, then you have to keep that mask up for all the time. But you can't keep a mask up all the time. But usually they would do it because they got something that they're gonna profit in some kind of way at some point in time or whatever, or they're trying to impress you and whatever, and but as it is now, because of the things I've seen and the different things in my life, how direction of my life has been going and the way things just fall into place perfectly for me, no matter what kind of bad things happen to me. it always ends up where there's a good outcome that comes of it. You know, I've learned that something or somebody is looking out for me. You know, you can tell. I mean, it's just you can just tell. You know, I mean, no matter how bad things get, it always works out, and things. You know, I end up being in better shape than I was before. You know, and whatever it is, I appreciate it. I really do. And I'm thinking the only thing I can think of is God. Whatever. That's the only one that would, would do that. Whatever. Because in this evil world we live in, human beings don't do this. Now there's some good people in the world. There are people that do really good things or whatever. But, and people have done good things through me. But I'm thinking it's through God that put me in a place where I could be able to receive these good things that people have done for me and whatever everything. So I do believe in God and whatever. Now that puts me in another category and whatever. And I don't usually admit the fact that I believe in God to people. I don't go around trying to preach to people because, number one, I don't care if people go to hell or not and whatever, If you go to hell, then damn it, you belong in hell, And I'm not going to try to save you from it and whatever. I don't care. It's not my business if you go to hell. I don't love you enough to try to change the course of your life or whatever, That's up to you to change the course of your life. If you don't want to go to hell, no, you got all the information I got. You went to church, you heard people talk about God, when people come to you and talk to you about it, everything, whatever. You probably cursed them out, whatever, just like I did, whatever. But I came to my senses and realized that there is, a God and whatever. So if I figured it out, anybody can figure it out. Because I was the most against it anybody could ever be, And if I changed, anybody can change, whatever. So I'm not going to try to convince anybody. You'll come around at some point in time, whatever. So, I really don't care. If you do, good. If you don't, then, too bad. I'm sorry for you, whatever, Really, I don't even give a shit, whatever, You don't want to believe, don't believe, it's on you, So I'm not going to try to preach to anybody and whatever. But I don't tell people about God, not because, I don't want to preach to anybody. I don't try to, but I don't do it because when people believe that you believe in God, for some reason they think you're weak, and or you're righteous. Yeah, I'm righteous. I do the right thing. I treat people the right way and everything. But I will fuck you up if you want to put your hands on me, or if you push my boundaries too far. I will fuck you up. You gotta understand. I'm 6'2", and I got a lot of pent up anger inside me from being meek and humble around people and whatever, and trying not to cause any problems with people and whatever, not to make people jealous of me and whatever. I walk with my head lowered and whatever, and I take in a lot of there's a lot of build up there and whatever, There's an incredible hunk inside me ready to jump out and whatever. And God help you if you're the person that pushes my buttons enough to where I snap and fuck you up or whatever, because there ain't gonna be much left of you and whatever. You do not want to fuck with me, because the ass whooping you're gonna get is the ass whooping of 1,000 fucking people and shit, whatever, I'm gonna be beating your ass, and in my mind I'm gonna be thinking about the asshole on my job that's fucked over. I'm gonna think about the fucker that owes me money. I'm gonna be thinking about the person that fucking stared. You're gonna bear the ass whooping of 1,000 people, So you don't want to fuck with me. But anyway, this has gotten way long. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.